The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo, how's everybody? Just checking out the streams. We got it going to 5 at the moment, and we're on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, looks like it's all working. So we'll see who shows up. I need to get the chat thing going though. It's taken me, what, 20 minutes to do a test run, getting it going. Let's see if we can get some comments going down the side. What you doing? We should have peeled wicked now, so we'll give it a try. We've got Rumble coming up. Anyone else join us on Rumble? Looks like they've got ads going. Peeled. Give us a second here. What's that not coming up? Right, I think I have to copy the link across. Okay, we'll get peeled working in a minute. All the comments worked. Instagram. Oh, you have to copy that across too, don't we? I think. Maybe not. Let's check. Oh no, that doesn't work. Yeah. Instagram, it's not working. Still. Twitter, let's see if that works. Page doesn't exist, so it looks like I might have to edit that one too. Well, let's get it sorted out. Anyone out there on the airwaves at the moment? Okay, so we got Rumble. I haven't started that one up yet. I'll come back to that one. Pills. We'll get that. See if we can get that going. Yeah, I forgot to. I have to copy it off the other screen, I think. So we might not need this window open. But anyway, that's a good thing. I might have to move it over to this window here. Probably not logged in. Let's go back. This window open. Okay, so how can I get the link from there? Let's see a share button. Don't see one. We can get it from here, I think. Nope. We'll reopen. Dear, oh dear. It'll get easier. I hope so. Anyway. Yeah. There we go. There. Thing here. I should be able to copy it. And to the chat settings. And of course it goes on the wrong window. Okay, let's see if it works. It's looking good, looking good. Okay, let's do a send out. Yeah. What did I just do? No, that's right. Ooh, let's see what happens. See, but
yeah.
But yes, you can see we do quite a lot. We're up to about 1,500 episodes of 3 to 5 hours long.
Wow.
And we also got some Skywatch ones where we caught the 2 UFOs here.
Let me ask you: has there ever been physically anything happen to you where you can't move or something in their presence? You ever heard of that?
That's back Yeah, the alien greys, when they're jabbing me with a needle, obviously they don't want me to move when they're operating on me. But go and have a watch of the episode. It explains it all. But you can watch.
I had a few friends in. Sure. I had a few friends
if you want to
in
use
Puerto
Rumble.
Rico.
Yeah,
it happened to a couple of my friends. Thanks, Paul. A couple of my friends in Puerto Rico it happened to, and they couldn't move out of the bed. They said they saw a little man, just like your picture there, and he was slowly. He was very short, and he paralyzed them in the bed. They could not move. They had complete paralysis, but they could visually see, hear, and hear everything.
I couldn't move at first, but I managed to get my arms moving because I wanted to get out of bed because I was in such pain with my back. Because I had a bad back pain, right? So I had this pain that like no other I've had before. Because normally my pain was already a 9 to 10 out of a 10 level. So I had to take painkillers. But that night I didn't, and I had this amazing pain. It was worse than ever. Maybe because I wasn't on painkillers. And then I found I couldn't move, and I kept trying, and then I could finally move and tilt my head, and I saw this alien grey on my bed sticking a needle in my back. So I grabbed hold of his hand. I managed to suddenly move my left hand. Somehow my motor come free, and I was able to grab his hand, and I was fighting him, pushing him away. He was sliding in the needle. And with my other hand suddenly come alive, I managed to get it up to the covers because it was covering my eyes.
We've got a recap from
the sheet was over my eyes for some reason. So I pushed that down to see this other alien grey staring right at me, just like this guy here, Mr. Grey. He looked just like that, but the grey skin was a lot better than this. It was kind of more like what do you call it, bioluminescent skin. It had like flicks of blue, yellow, pink.
Ooh, it's got to be the chat program. Yeah. I see you there, Tommy. It's like I managed to crash the program. I wonder what was doing it though. Which window it was. Got a feeling it was Rumble. I'm not sure why. Okay, let's start up YouTube again. I'll do a test message. Yep. Looking good. Rumble. Yeah, I think that has a habit of going to the last string.
Oh boy, we are facing terrible threat, and...
How'd you meet it though? Yeah, looks like they've changed the code somehow. I don't think he's got a mute for it. Also, I have to get past the ads on it.
Many people do not want to.
Many people don't want Rumble ads.
Acknowledge it. We
trying and then.
Yeah, it's going to the wrong place, isn't it? Oh no, there we go. Yes, gonna have to fix that up for us. It's annoying. Okay, so we got Twitter going to activate. Or was there a problem there? Can't find it. So we need a new link for that one too. All these ones that don't have a generic link to the stream. Rumble's there now. Come back to that one. Twitter. We need a checklist. Do this, do this, do this. Must be that link we need. I don't know if it's going to work this way, but we'll try it. Yeah, it's still picking up the old link. Yeah, so we have to delete that one, edit again. Let's see what happens this time. Hey, we're there. Where's the side chat though? Oh, we'll do a test in a minute. So we got YouTube, Rumble, and need to get pilled Twitter, and now we need to get pilled back, and hopefully no echoes. Yeah, that one come up. Yeah. Instagram's the only one that's not working for some reason. But anyway, doesn't matter. We'll just keep an eye on it. I don't think anyone will join us though. Why is it not going up? Okay, here we go. Let's do a test message again. Yeah, Rumble was playing last week's show, but looks well, at least it worked up there. Hey, let's see if it goes out everywhere. Oh, we have 2 copies. So let's see, where did it go? Pilled, YouTube, Rumble, and pilled again. How about Twitter? Have we got Twitter there? Don't see Twitter. Let's just check. It would be good to have a helper, wouldn't it? Why can't I see the live stream though? Looks like I must have clicked on something here. Okay. Okay, we don't click on that. We click on the thing underneath. Okay. Let's see the side chat. I shall do now. Let's get the input there. Can't quite see. Let's get it down the font. Alright, here we go. This message. Twitter. Alright. Didn't come up here though, did it? So what have I got wrong? Well, it matters too much. Reckons it's running over there. We'll get Rumble. What's that one? X. Looks like it hit something on the screen, so that might have been a problem. Okay. I'll just try another test. Yo. Yo. Okay. Okay, we haven't got it still, have we? Yeah, it was working last time. Why is it not working this time? Just sorry. I have to reload it. What's that doing? Oh shit, right? Yeah, I can't see the chat window today on there, but the font's massive and there's no way to scale it down, I don't think. So, alright, might be able to zoom in, no, zoom out. We'll start the show soon, hopefully. Okay, I can see the chat window there. Yo. Ah, it's got X coming up now. Okay, so maybe the font was too big. I don't know why would that have an impact though. How about the other way? Yo. Gee. Yeah, we've got X on the list. Yeah, YouTube, X. So I can send one message to all now. So it's all up and running finally. So now we can just scale that one up. Oh, we haven't got Rumble there, is it? Oh, yes, it is at the bottom. Go look at the little icons. I'm just going to try and send some gifts. Yeah. I thought you have to move that window across the other one. Perfect, eh? Now this is why some people have long intros, you see. Yeah, so I'll post my website link up and see if that works. Breaky voice. It should go to all of them. Looking good. Don't think we can pin from there though. Pin. So I have to bring up that window there. Okay. It's not going to let me move it for some reason. A CPU. CPU. Okay. See how we go this time. Pin message. Yep, that worked. We're fully operational. Ooh. It looks different though, doesn't it? I thought I had... We have a browser open here. Maybe I closed it accidentally, did it? Alright, the live chat's showing up here. Hey, Pilled is going. We can close that down now. Oh, just leave it like that for the time being. Why was that not running? Oh, I must have closed it down before. Yeah, that's right. I was just trying to work out the audio, wasn't it? Good stuff. Okay, Tommy. How far can we go up? There's Tommy. How's it going, mate? I don't think it's showing up on the screen though, is it? I'm not. Hang on. Got it. Yeah, it is. I got it on YouTube. It's still appealed and it's delayed. Hey Paul, long time. Yeah. I don't know if you're still there though. The stats keep saying there's 2 and then 0 watching. Have to get back to work. Oh, okay. He's gone. Oh well. You have to come back and watch it later then. Let's just kill some background stuff here. Hopefully it doesn't stuff up. Yep. I'll just keep an eye on that one. Got so many screens here. Okay, let's move that to the beginning. That's looking good. Hey, I got to send some gifts. I was going to do that test, wasn't I? I forgot something here. Let's see if it works this time. We've got 5 to give away. It doesn't have it in that window for some reason. I have to do it as a pop out. Hey, membership gifting, here we go. So you can actually gift all 10 if you go back in it and repeat it, apparently. But we're doing that next time, do 10 in one go. Let's gift, here we go, let's see what happens. So you get some. Of course, this doesn't tell us here, does it? But yeah, it doesn't tell us there either, does it? It will tell us on the screen, though. Here we got Haley. Looks like it's a bit delayed, isn't it? Hey, Sean. That wasn't Sean we're talking to last time, was it? Three minutes, man. I hope it's a bit longer than that. Whoever that is. Welcome. The Queens. Is there one more? Yeah, one more. So it looks like none of my regular watchers have got it again. Anyway, let's kick it off. What's that took? At least an hour. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so let's kick it off. We're about to begin. We'll come back to that one. What's the last thing here? Oh yeah, this is some strange comment I got last night. If anyone can work it out what it's saying, let me know. So I queued this show up for today, right? I asked people could they understand alien. Let me know what it says. Is it what? Damn UFOs is real. What the hell? I don't know. What the something? The UFOs are real is what he's trying to say, is it? This is extreme ghetto talk, is it? Damn it, I can see that's normal, sort of normal English, sort of. That's why the F-35 went. So I'm guessing that's saying that's why the EF aliens went. Damn it, I don't know. EF-35, EF, I suppose that's a E, and what's a 5? S? Fs? FEs? FEs, does he mean EBEs maybe? Anyway, he said it wasn't fun at the Out There channel. Looks like I triggered some alien. Moving on. What's the next bit? Voyager. I suppose we could do the space news. Voyager 1 stops communicating with Earth. Now, that happened a couple of times, hasn't it? But they haven't managed to fix it so far. And of course, they experienced another fault in November, was it? Or December? Voyager 1 spacecraft experienced a computer glitch that's caused a bit of communication breakdown between the 46-year-old probe and its mission team. I think it's sending gibberish like zeros and ones, a bit like what we just read. Maybe it's aliens are taking it over. Engineers are currently trying to solve the issues and they still haven't. Voyager 1 is currently the furthest spacecraft from Earth, 15 billion miles. Let's see. Long distant glitch. The mission team first noticed the issue November the 14th. And the flight data systems telecommunications unit began sending back a repeated pattern of ones and zeros. It was like it was trapped in a loop. Maybe they should analyze those ones and zeros. Maybe there's some communication going on there. While the spacecraft can still receive and carry out commands transmitted from the mission team, a problem with the communication unit means no science or engineering data is being returned to Earth. Okay, so that's currently what's going on with the Voyager. And of course then they're saying it's returning back home, which is untrue. Why is the Voyager spacecraft getting closer to Earth? It's to do with the orbits apparently. How it slingshots from planet to planet. Looks like they got it programmed. Oh, what happened there? Did we get sabotaged? For a few months each year, the distance between the Voyager spacecraft and Earth actually decreased. You might know that both Voyager spacecraft were launched. So there's Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, if you didn't know that. You know, one with the gold plate saying humans are peaceful, come and visit. So the evil aliens have come with all their laser technology and blow up the planet. The answer is that for a few months each year, Earth's orbit moves towards the spacecraft faster than it's moving away. Earth's motion around the sun is faster than the motion of Voyager spacecraft. Old technology, and we need light speed engines put on that, don't we? Earth moves through space at a speed of 60,000 miles per hour. Voyager 1 moves at speed of 38,000 miles per hour. Voyager 2 moves at a speed of 35, even slower. Okay, they got a little video there, but I think I've got another one that shows how it slingshots. So we can get rid of that one. Planets today. Here's a video here. I'll just go full screen on it. I might have to zoom in on it as well. I don't think it's got any sound. Is it going to work though? Oh, I should have minimized that down too. Get that out the way. Yeah, so what are we looking at here? I've got Voyager 1, so you can see how it went to this orbit here of Jupiter, which is meant to be the dwarf sun of our sun, right? It wasn't big enough to initiate fusion reaction, but there's plenty of helium there. So you can see here how it slingshots, and then the next one is off near Saturn here. Gravitational pull, was it? Here we go. Bing! Hit there, yep. You can see how it lined up perfect. Going up to the next orbit, which is what? Uranus. Shh, not allowed to say that word. That one totally missed it. What's this one going to do? This one's going to bend off because it's pretty close to it. Boom. And then we got Neptune on that one to bend it back, is it? I don't know how they calculate all that out. Yeah, one mistake in calculations, right? Well, there we go. And I forgot to look, but was it on that page? I'll post a link to this one so you can have a watch of it all. What year were they launched in? Anyone? 77. Launched in 77. Quite a long time ago. I'm not sure if we had TV even back then. Let's see, maybe just the first TV, maybe. But yeah, planet.com. Go and give them a visit. Go and check out the other stuff if you're interested in space videos. Yeah, I gotta paste it down here, right? Voyager 1 and 2 news. So that's sort of come up in recent news. Very quiet out there. Why is that not working now? Strange bugs in these programs, I tell you. Don't they ever test out their browsers with lots of tabs? You wouldn't think so. You would think so, I mean. So, the latest drama, not more from Steve Greenstreet here. So we just go over all the hating going on and all the drama going on. This is, like I said, this show is a catch up for the week, and the other show I did earlier where we had open minds was to be more positive, focusing on the real UFO cases. Now this one here is to look at all the noise and the ufology that's burying all that stuff, right? So UFO celebrity Ross Coldheart, as I call him, reacts to my New York Post reporting about a small group of dubious paranormal activists that have duped Congress into hunting aliens that don't exist. Well, it doesn't exist in his mind, but we know otherwise, don't we? But yeah, how'd you turn around a total non-believer skeptic? You know, if Stephen had more balanced view on things and still called out the bad people in ufology like I do, he'd be a lot more respected, I think. So he's not really on our side, and he's not really on their side, the big talking head grifters that are making lots of money. So he's got a clip here, but we can watch the full video, which is quite well worth it. It does a good job. We'll just play the clip he's got here, a little promo. Under fair use, of course.
You know, there's one idiot who I will not name, who keeps on saying that, you know, this is all just a fabrication by a small cadre of tinfoil hat crazies who've managed to persuade the Congress's most powerful political representatives to believe in UAPs. Seriously, grow up, you infantile, puerile piece of shit. You know, there's one idiot who I will not name, who keeps on saying...
So I guess he's talking about Greenstreet there, but it's hard to know. Keeps on saying, And what was the next one? What was that one? Oh, right, that was talking about the sunspots thing, so we'll come back to that one. I don't think that was meant to be in that location. Yeah, Planet X, so we'll talk about Planet X as well. That was the stuff from the last show. Yeah, that was from the last show, so we have to carry on next weekend with that one. Right, we're in the right place now. Let's see, popular figures in UFO religion like Cos Coldheart and Jeremy Corbell are using violent and warlike rhetoric in their fanatical call to arms. Yeah, this is kind of really cult-like. This is probably worse than what they're claiming Trump did on Jan 6, right? Pentagon official recently warned a UFO religion has infiltrated the US Congress. My full reports. Okay, so maybe that was the one we meant to play a link on. What's that one there? Let's just play it and have a watch.
One religious UFO believer said that Kirkpatrick and I should be tried for treason and executed. That may sound...
And I said to that, I don't know if it's the air still. Where is my reply? Good question, here we go. I said, more like all UFO shills grifters should be punished if can't prove with evidence. Maybe first time offenders dipped in honey and let loose a starving crazy man contender at them in a wired cage. Although Corbell would love it. Corbell sounds like 100 times the claims against Trump and January 6. Imagine if Trump said war and weaponize. Ross Coldheart is getting colder and mean, which means they are losing the war. Okay, that's what I said to it. Anyway, we'll just carry on playing it.
One religious UFO believer said that Kirkpatrick and I should be tried for treason and executed. That may sound like the rantings of a random crazy person, but many UFO activists...
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that music either. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. UFO celebrity, 110,000 followers, huh? Unbelievable.
Some of them with large followings are using violent and warlike language.
Those covering up UFOs should be tarred and feathered. How about all the shells? Shouldn't they be tarred and feathered? I reckon honey and being licked to death would be actually a better thing.
Language in their fanatical UFO call to arms. Jeremy Corbell, for example, a largely popular
225,000 followers, really? You gullible twats.
UFO celebrity who plays a major role in influencing members of Congress.
He dresses up like a Cuban to me, like or maybe Chinese military, you know, with the same color uniforms, haven't they? And jeans. He's got a bit of a gutter mouth on him, and he, as we found out in that letter, he likes to eat mushrooms. Maybe that makes a difference.
And who the news media uncritically platforms, sometimes every day, has tweeted that this is a war, a UFO Vietnam, that his followers should get mad, rage, and weaponize. And he says that he won't stop fighting for UFOs until the body...
You gotta remember, there's a lot of nut jobs out there that probably would go around shooting people because Corbell said so. I wonder if he could be impeached and imprisoned. They ain't stopping on UFOs till the bodies hit the floor. That's pretty a bad tweet, isn't it?
He's hit the floor, and he warns UFO debunkers to beware.
Beware. Debunkers? Beware. Because this information is coming out. This is the tip of the spear.
That's just as well I'm a truther then.
But I ain't stopping until I see the bodies hit the floor.
This is disturbing and unsettling stuff. Unhinged, wacky stuff.
So they're even doing posters with their faces on it. What's that from? Rambo? Oh no, would it be Predator? Is it? I'm not sure. Is it Predator movie that's from?
That used to be reserved for the dark corners of the internet or conspiracy blogs. But here it is, front and center on mainstream news channels, platformed with little to no pushback, inquiry, or proper critique. Corbell was on TV yesterday. He'll probably be on TV tomorrow.
Joining us now, my friend Jeremy Corbell.
Ooh, friend.
Friend of the show.
This is like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, he's got a point though, hasn't he? Green Street, even though he's not a believer. It's a bit out of control there, isn't it? I wonder what happened to Mike and Shogun today. I see his son's on Discord there. I did send a message. Let's send another one out to him. Do. I suppose he's gone to dinner again. Shogun. I didn't have time to get anything to eat here, so yeah. Have I got a video to that one? Let's just open it up then. There was some interesting bits on it worth having a listen to. UFO religion in Congress. Well, we knew that from the beginning with Lou claiming it was shut down for religious reasons, right? That the guy in charge, the head guy in charge, because we can't believe any word he says though, because he wasn't running the program. It turned out to be a hobby group, but yeah, the head said that the aliens were demons, and it's a nothing burger, right? The church can handle it. Well. Anyway, we'll just play a clip. It's muted, is it?
UFO Investigation Office recently retired, went public, and
the problem is he's got music in it.
Dropped some bombs. He says during his time investigating UFOs at the Pentagon with top secret access to everything, he saw no evidence of aliens flying around our skies. And he says a small group of religious UFO conspiracists have spent years duping Congress.
Yeah. So I'll post the link to that while I remember. What do we call it? UFO debunkers beware. It's kind of depressing stuff, isn't it? Okay, send it out to all those ones. Let's see, I think it got a bit more interesting near the end.
And in fact, that UFO program didn't even exist.
So he's recapping the stuff we already know about Lou lying about the program.
David Grush and his claims to the world was written by the same exact UFO activist that co-authored the false, erroneous, deceptive 2017 New York Times story. Leslie.
Yeah, so he's talking about David Grush being groomed by the UFO hate group. Debunkers beware. All those on the picture there. Knapp, Corbell, Ross Coldheart, and a few others, right? Bob Lazar. Although I think Bob Lazar's not really in it, though. But who knows? He may have talked to him. It's hard to know what's going on.
Also in July, Senator Chuck Schumer submitted to Congress new proposed legislation about UFOs. Schumer's far-reaching 64-page proposed legislation included mention
of
flying saucers, non-human intelligence.
Yeah, so that's just a recap still, isn't it?
Office. He says he never saw any evidence that any UFOs are alien. But more...
Yeah, but they might just feed him all the crap stuff, right? All the good stuff is buried and probably above everybody's classification level. Could there still be a secret group that runs all that outside CIA and FBI knowing about it? I think it's more likely that they probably they bring in the head of each of those organizations and say, this is set up and this is the reason why, and it was set up by Truman, blah blah blah, and they probably get them on board. And I suppose if they don't get on board and keep it quiet, they get knocked off or something happens to their family or whatever. Men in Black. Maybe they show them some technology they've got where they can jump in and out of their house or whatever. Who knows? Scary to think about it.
More importantly, he finally said what I've been reporting for years. That all of the wild and crazy claims that Congress has heard over the last 6 years all go back to the same group of paranormal activists. Kirkpatrick says during his 18 months...
Yeah, I'll just have to keep pausing it every so often because of the music.
As the head of AARO, he tried to approach the issue from a scientific point of view, but says, quote, our efforts were...
Well, we can approach it from a scientific view, but if we haven't been given all the data, then you're going to get a don't exist solution, right? Conclusion. Or UFOs are just misidentified, or Black Ops technology being tested, maybe by USA, classified programs, or China or Russia, you know. But if Russia had like extreme technology like that, you'd think they're about to end that Ukraine war within a few hours, right? So it makes you wonder, really. It's all disinformation. It's all, maybe aliens don't have sort of the capability of hurting others. What's that got bigger? I don't know. It's just like big. I think it's too hard on the edges. I don't know. Needs like an edge, really, doesn't it? Anyway, it's alright, I suppose. Okay, let's our efforts.
Ultimately overwhelmed by sensational but unsupported claims that ignored contradictory evidence yet captured the attention of policymakers and the public, driving legislative battles and dominating the public narrative. He says the key purveyors of this narrative have known one another for decades. A group of individuals associated with businessman and longtime ufologist Robert Bigelow. Taxpayer money was being inappropriately spent on paranormal research at
Yeah, I've heard all this before.
If you've read my reporting or watched my
Yeah, we have. We just want to get into the new stuff.
is being carried out by a group of true believers to get the government involved in the business of investigating aliens. The best thing that could have happened in this job is I found the aliens, and I could have rolled them out, but there's none. There is no evidence of extraterrestrials. There is no evidence of aliens. But Kirkpatrick says none of that will probably convince the UFO true believers. There is absolutely nothing that I'm going to do.
Well, it won't convince me because I'm an experiencer and I know firsthand. I don't need no government to tell me they don't exist. You gotta first explain what I've seen and the evidence I've collected. So yeah, well, we know they're covering up stuff. Look at the Cora lights. They said there were fishing boat lights reflecting off clouds and Venus and swamp gas, and it certainly wasn't. There was something major happening in Kaikoura, and other people saw UFOs come out the water and go down the valleys like they were searching for a crashed UFO. But yeah, not everybody can be totally crazy, especially all the abductees, right? If you can write off 50% of them as weed heads on drugs or something, and or mental problems, well, we're still talking about a big number of people. But yeah, I'll go over drugs that cause hallucinations today. Maybe I'll see how we go.
Say or produce evidentially that is going to make the true believers convert. It's basically a religion, a religious belief that transcends critical thinking and rational thought. So the guy who was at the top of all of this at the Pentagon is saying that a UFO religion has infiltrated the United States government, has infiltrated the United States Congress. Why aren't more people talking about this? Kirkpatrick's op-ed and podcast sent shockwaves through the UFO community. Many UFO...
I don't think Kirkpatrick's lying. I just think he's telling the truth based on what he's been given, right?
UFO activists are accusing Kirkpatrick as being part of a conspiracy to cover up aliens. But it gets weirder than that.
If that was the case, why did he quit? Because probably he had enough of it, right?
Kirkpatrick's op-ed.
If you're a disinformation officer, you're normally a disinformation officer for life, right? Like Doty, Richard Doty.
As he's outlining his case, his article links to outside third-party supportive articles. One of the links where he's talking about how this group is connected to Skinwalker Ranch links to my March 2023 New York Post article. This, of course, started a whole explosion of online conspiracy theory.
This was Stephen Greenstreet.
UFO activists were suddenly claiming that this link to my story proved that I was in cahoots with Sean Kirkpatrick, and that Kirkpatrick and Stephen Greenstreet had been working together nefariously behind the scenes.
So yeah, he's just taking his Greenstreet's research on all the grifters. Obviously, he heard about it. One of Greenstreet sent it to him, though. Well, someone would have sent it to him, saying, "Have you know this? Do you know about this? These people that you're bringing into the hearing."
There are accusations all over social media that I am a government plant, a CIA agent, a man in black, a whole bunch of crazy stuff. The truth is, while Kirkpatrick was at the Pentagon, I requested comment from him multiple times. I was denied every time. I requested an interview with him. I was denied every time. The first time I was actually able to communicate with Sean Kirkpatrick was after his op-ed. He replied to one of my emails in which I was asking, "Hey, I noticed you linked to my article, so I assume you're familiar with my reporting." Kirkpatrick responded, "My apologies, but I have not read your work. The links were included by Scientific American to point to..."
So he's still not up to date on what Green Streak's done.
Other reporting, and is not meant to be either an endorsement or represent my agreement. I appreciate your interest, but I am not taking more interviews until after my report is delivered to Congress. So Kirkpatrick apparently hasn't read my reporting, but he's apparently come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, but the believers out there will still say they're working together, and that's just like a response as a cover-up. You can't win. I don't think Green Streak's lying here. If he was, he'll eventually get caught out further down the track like Richard Doty, right?
As my reporting. No evidence of aliens, and a group of activists telling tall tales to Congress. UFO believers, however, are angry.
Kirkpatrick is a piece of dog.
They still, right now, as I speak, are posting wild, outrageous conspiracy theories all over social media. One
They should be prosecuted.
religious UFO believer said that Kirkpatrick and I should be tried for treason and executed.
Pretty serious stuff.
That may sound like the rantings of a random crazy person, but many UFO activists, some of them with large followings, are using violent and warlike language in their fanatical UFO call to arms. Jeremy Corbell, for example, a largely popular UFO celebrity who plays a major role in influencing members of Congress, and who the news media uncritically platforms, sometimes every day, has tweeted that this is a war, a UFO Vietnam, that his followers should get mad, rage, and weaponize. And he says that he won't stop fighting for UFOs until the bodies hit the floor. And he warns UFO debunkers to beware.
Beware. Debunkers, beware. Because
so that's the primary clip he played before. So let's just get past that bit.
Them, if they think they've been duped by a religious UFO group. I reached out to Marco Rubio and Kirsten Gillibrand, who both spearheaded the creation of AARO, the Pentagon's UFO office. I'd previously reached out to Senator Gillibrand multiple times over the last 18 months, and all of my previous inquiries to Gillibrand were ignored. This time, I asked the senator to specifically respond to Kirkpatrick's comments about a group of conspiracists who have been duping Congress. For the first time ever, she actually replied to me with a boilerplate non-answer about how important AARO is. She did not even acknowledge Kirkpatrick's comments. My follow-up...
That's pretty bad, isn't it? So you expect the government to be a bit more open at this stage, just ignoring people. You think at least her staff would check out to see that he's a credible reporter and actually give him a reply to the question. But there's a lot of egos in ufology and headbutting, right? And he's no better himself. He doesn't reply to me either. Like I said, there's this ego. Oh, you're a nut job. You've had experiences, so you must be a nut job. Or you're a debunker. But I'm not interested in what you're debunking, you know?
emails were ignored. A link to her full comment is in the description below.
So this is like karma. So he should be better than them, and he should actually respond to everybody. Or at least give him a comment back saying this is the first and last. I will be replying because I'm too busy or whatever. You just don't ignore people. I try not to. I answer everybody. But yeah, apart from that alien one, I didn't know what to say to that.
Gillibrand had actually met with some of the members of this UFO activist group, who were lobbying her to create a government UFO department. After Arrow was created, activists Chris Mellon and Lou Elizondo tweeted a photo of themselves posing with Gillibrand, saying, "Glad we got this done."
Cupid's just popped
Marco
up on the
Rubio,
side.
despite multiple
It
emails and
works.
phone calls from me, did not respond to my inquiry. But Rubio seems to have already been...
See, this is typical government, isn't it? They totally ignore reporters nowadays. Opal only just joined, so don't know what's going on. Yeah, yeah. It took me about an hour to get into the show because I was setting up the new setup here. Is that still coming up? It's good to see you anyway. Hope you've been keeping well. Yeah, that's working alright, cool. So this is quite interesting with the Rubio reply here. So obviously he has been catching up on stuff on the ufology. Probably read Green Streak stuff.
been distancing himself from this UFO hysteria. In June, he said this: "Either what David Grush is saying is partially true, or entirely true, or we have some really smart, educated people with high clearances and very important positions in our government who are crazy and are leading us on a goose chase."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good statement, isn't it? Hi chat. I don't think anyone's around on this chat today, Cupid. So yeah, go and watch the full one of that. I did post the tweet before, but I'll post the link individually. Like I said, it gets good about halfway through, because he recaps about the lies in the 2017, was it? New York Times article. Green Streak. That's sort of probably what the government wants though, right? It wants all this drama and all the big talking heads in ufology to be shamed, named and shamed, and UFOs and aliens will be forgotten again, and they'll just get on with the warmongering and border crisis and all the other nonsense that's going on. Let's see, it should post around. You're surviving. That's all we can do. You just got home, have you? What's the time there at the moment? Midnight, is it? Over there? On Sunday? Yeah, so that's Green Streak done, with the drama of the so-called UFO debunkers beware threat. Scary. Getting scary there on the internet now. Especially there's a lot of fragile minds, you know. Remember when security said there was a big asteroid coming to Earth and it's going to possibly hit us, and some woman took her kids into the car and drove into a lake. So yeah, some people are mentally unstable like that. So you got to be careful of fear mongering. and telling people to weaponize. Despite that's part of his tagline, Corbell, people can interpret that wrong. Weaponize your curiosity. I always hated that line. Now he's still using it. What was this one here about? Naysayers should be tarred, but really it should be all the shells should be tarred and feathered, including Ross. He knows where the UFOs are hiding inside a big building, like a Bob Lazar. I think we've probably looked at that one, haven't we?
He said this.
Yeah, it's the same one. Okay. So he's got it on both posts. Okay, so we're finished with that one now. That's for next week. Okay, let's talk about Planet X, shall we? This comes from NASA, of all places. You heard about all the shells out there knocking out videos. In fact, I think I might have one here. What's that? Alright, I had some comments. So, Julian, who hasn't joined us on the side chat, but probably watches in the sidelines, thoughts over Planet X. So, we'll just go through the chat here. Planets coming into solar system nonsense. However, large space rocks on big orbits, yes. As have seen them with the Uma, whatever that word is. So we know there's like huge chunks of rock there. We've seen them in SOHO videos. You can actually see them plow into the sun, many times the size of the Earth. So yeah, it's kind of scary what's out there that could kill Earth anytime, really. If they don't detect it. So that's why they're now taking it a bit more seriously with this UFO defense grid, which will also hopefully incorporate rocks coming towards us, which are UFOs in a sense, I guess. There's a guy on YouTube, there's plenty of them, that shows Planet X in our solar system. So I was thinking, oh, who could that be? A guy? I don't think it's going to be third phase. Bruce Cecil, I don't think so. UFO man, possible. So yeah, so we'll just carry on. And I said, if there was, it would alter the orbits and would be detected by millions of scientists, skywatchers. Again, common sense stuff. So you telling me even 10,000 of these millions would stay silent on it? And I posted some things from the Wikipedia, which I thought were quite good little segments here. The Nibiru, as it's called for Planet X, supposed disastrous encounter between Earth and a large planetary object. Okay, and the idea was first put forward in 1995 by Nancy Leider, founder of the website Sita Talk. Leider claims she is a contactee with the ability to receive messages from extraterrestrials from Zeta Reticuli. I just called bunk on that straight away. I haven't had any aliens communicate with me yet, but I've seen them. And they've done hand signals. That's the only level of communication I've had. Why do hand signals when they could just talk straight into your head, right? And why they visit to me is another big mystery, of course. But hopefully we can catch it on camera. That would be really cool. Astronomers reject the idea of Nibiru, aka Planet X, and have made efforts to inform the public that there is no threat to Earth. You might remember Secure Team did one of these with Mr. Ken. My name is Ken. And then he deleted it the next day because he got found out that it was his voice being faked for the interview. And then he got another 2 million followers after that. So justice is not served still. They point out that such an object so close to Earth would be easily visible to the naked eye, so you wouldn't even need a telescope, and would cause noticeable effects. So we can see bright lights in the sky of Venus and Mars, so if there's a planet-sized object coming within that range of the Sun, sure enough we would see it, wouldn't we? Mike Brown noted that while it's not impossible that the Sun has a distant planetary companion, such as an object would have to be lying very far from the observed regions of the solar system to have no detectable gravitational effect on the other planets. So we'd see wobbles and all sorts of things happening. A Mars-sized object could be undetected at 300 AU times the distance of Neptune. So I think we looked at what AU units were, but they're saying it's 10 times the distance of Neptune, so that's quite a long way away. Videos, incredible photo of Planet X. Okay, I think he eventually gives us a link. And looks like Google's got rid of it. Damn. This is what I hate about Google. They shouldn't do that. But he did actually give me a link to it. I wonder if I can find it. I could probably search on it. Let's see if we can find it. I won't be surprised if Google's actually promoting it. There'll be someone promoting the crap. Let's have a look. I should have bookmarked it, but I thought, oh well, the link will be there tomorrow, and Google's taking it. So is it on Reddit already? Retreating. There we go. I think that might be the one. It's like self-promotion, is it? And something screwed up here. Let me see if we can open it up normally. There we go. Not sure why that screwed up. But I think that's the one. Planet X News. Yeah, that rings a bell. Alright, I've made a comment. We'll get to the comment in a minute. So let's have a quick skim under fair use and do commentary and review on it.
Well, folks.
So it's a 34-minute video of all things. And you can see straight away it's going to focus on this here.
Space bubbles, they do not orbit the sun. I don't even know how to comment any more or any further on that aspect of these being space bubbles. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump into a
Oh, please do, mate. Please jump into it.
Closer photograph. And this is what I was reading.
So this is where you're going to get the confirmation bias instead of just following the evidence and the science.
Referring to, you know, some of this outgassing. At this point in time, you can kind of see that this object looks
nothing like a planet because you can see it's not even pure circle here. It's slightly deformed.
Looks like it's almost striped in nature. I believe from all of my other photo captures, it's not that it's striped. It seems
Okay, so I've gone over this many times before about the SOHO and the camera systems using filters, and then they join all those images together to form what it looks like to the eye. Well, they don't join them all together, they join certain ones together that forms the white spectrum, but we're looking at here is the various infrared and ultraviolet spectrums that is false colored, right? So what you're seeing there isn't actually a solid object, right? That's just a void in the information of the infrared here. And obviously you can see it's in a coronal injection event happening. And we know there's a certain magnetic field that happens at the very end of it where it makes a circular void. And that's sort of what the science of it happens, right? But you can see this video here doesn't go through any of the science, doesn't debunk it. It's obviously a believer channel. He's already got 112,000 subscribers and he's got 2,500 likes and 21,000 views, right? That's ridiculous. David, what's he saying about this one? Let's see. What's that about 06? Did I miss a comment? Did you say secure team? And did you mean suck your team? yeah, naughty. Yeah, you saw me talk about him last weekend, that he put out a huge letter. It sounded like it was written by a GPT robot groveling to people that he'll be back, and I think it's another weekend and he's still not back, isn't he? Anyway, well, I suppose we could do a quick check since we mentioned him. Hoax channel security, still nothing new, right? Even though that's another week past that he's coming back with a new episode. Yeah, it's too much work for him. When you got millions of dollars and probably got some other businesses outside ufology like franchises and fast food, why would you bother doing a UFO channel anymore? Unless you're really interested in it, right? He keeps making excuses that something always goes wrong in his life, right? But you just get up after a week or two and get on with it again, don't you? So yeah, I could understand if it was ill health and you can't get on the computer, but you know me, I've had lots of ill health and just got on with it. You know, done shows where I've been almost vomiting in a bucket, but you know, these guys don't know that. But I just carry on, you know, on with the show. So let's just skim on a wee bit here. So he's got the other ones coming up with the different filters.
At that point in time, it probably loses that outgassing tail, kind of cools down, and then over a 2-week period makes its way down below the ecliptic and then eventually back up. And when it comes back up, that's when we normally see it in this area. Oh, I'd say, you know, roughly about the 4 o'clock position to the 3 o'clock.
Yeah, where all the ejections tend to happen, right? So what's he trying to say? Is it meant to be Planet X or what? Because it ain't moving across the surface of the sun going this way. in any of the still shots that he's showing so far. Like other planets, we see other planets passing by in the videos. Venus and Mars and Saturn and Jupiter. No, not Jupiter. Saturn, is it? Oh, it could be Jupiter as well.
Of a solar maximum. So now everything has been elevated. And
yeah, let's just carry on. Still going on about that slide.
To rebuild what is left. Do you think they're going to do it? No.
Anyway, looks like he's boring.
You are already seeing the signs. They're all around you in your daily life. I'm going to be going.
So what other crap has this one got put up here? Let's have a quick look. Videos. The sun continues explosive pattern. Yeah, that sort of leads us into climate change and all the extreme heats we've had recently, right? 2023 had the most sunspot activity in 20 years, but they don't mention that on the TV news when they're fear-mongering about climate change. I was having an argument with some climate change denier haters, what do you want to call them? They hate deniers, and they're blabbing on about all their science and their science models are correct, and I said there's no way you knew what the temperature was of the sea, let alone the atmosphere 20,000 years ago. They got all these nice little charts showing how the carbon kept increasing, but we know that the trees got chopped down and lightning would burn them down, and less trees means less CO2 being sucked out the atmosphere, right? There's all sorts of factors that you have to take into account, that the Earth was constantly changing in that time. But they think their science is correct, the core samples are correct. So it's good to debate some of them, but in the end, you know they're not going to listen to your argument. They're just going to keep pushing the same old narrative, and that I'm wrong. In the end, he said, I'm wrong, I don't understand it. Well, I can look up same information that they putting out there and give my opinion on it. And if you look up ice core samples, right, there's a lot of errors that come from ice cores, right? As you drill, you're heating up the ground, for one thing. You know how you drill into rock? You got to cool it down. If you drill into solid ice, it's going to heat up, right? It's but that thing where you are trying to do an experiment and observe it, but by observing it, you're changing the outcome. And they're taking source samples and all this. Again, as I said to him, it's still not real-time evidence. So what I posted out on Twitter, if you read it, I said climate science is still too young. We need another 3,000 years to collect enough information on the planet, atmosphere, and the sea to be able to see 100-year and 1,000-year cycles. But anyway, not allowed to talk about that stuff, are we? Free speech and all that, you know. They've already 2 deniers got sued in court for $1 million. That's how they silence people nowadays, for slander of all things. And yeah, I'm not sure what they said. Maybe they said he was lying, that the scientist was lying or covering up. Maybe the jury decided that was slander on his character. But yeah, how do you express your opinion without being sued in American court or having your videos deleted? You can't. Censorship is extreme. I can't watch the TV news here in New Zealand without a climate change thing being slung into it somewhere. I don't know if it's the same in UK or not, or USA, but it's pretty bad here. You can see the agenda being pushed, and also the anti-Trump stuff is being pushed. And they don't tell you the full story, like that woman that's sued Trump for slander. They don't tell you the full story of her background. That she's also called wolf on other men with the same thing previously, but they weren't rich. And she also made some comments that she was quite excited by rape itself. So yeah, you don't get to hear all this stuff on the TV news, that Trump is a bad man, he must be lying. Okay, so anyway, back to Planet X. Don't trigger me on that stuff. Google will shut me down, or it's probably already been kicked off the other stream sites as well. Especially Facebook-owned Instagram, right? Massive explosions, earthquake, without having to go through all this stuff. So where's all the Planet X nonsense? My cat scan. What's that got to do with it? Yeah, it looks like he's onto this SOHO nonsense quite a bit here. NASA dirt. Not as bad as some websites so far, but like he's not playing those stupid little, well maybe he is, we'd probably have to go and check out all the videos. He's not playing all those silly little videos where people are aiming their phones at the sun and recording solar flare, or the, what do you call it, the black sun anomaly, where the sensor gets overloaded and the firmware, instead of putting a big blob of white, converts it into a black dot instead. So that's, I don't know if it happens on newer phones now, but it used to happen on older phones. And people are using these clip-on lenses, causing lens flare on their mobile phones that they're trying to film zoomed in on the Planet X next to the sun. They certainly put up a lot of stuff. He must have put up a lot of shell stuff here though. But yeah, I just don't want to listen to it all because it's going to be blah. It's going to be crap. It really is. Praying mantis devours the brain of a murder hornet. Well, that's what insects do. Praying mantis are pretty vicious though, aren't they? Where they grab it with their arms and then eat the head first. Anyway, we got there with that guy anyway. Clearly it's not Planet X though. He didn't prove it to me, skimming that. But NASA here has put out something interesting. We don't need that chat anymore. What's that one? Oh yeah, that was talking about thing, but we have a read of this here. Skim through it. Caltech researchers have found mathematical evidence suggesting there may be a Planet X. Now, when was this written? I've got no date on it. Kind of recall it coming out a few years ago, didn't it, this information? But anyway, deep in the solar system, this hypothetical Neptune-sized planet orbits our sun in a highly elongated orbit far beyond Pluto. So, how's this different to the Uma? The object which the researchers have nicknamed Planet 9 could have a mass about 10 times that of Earth. So we read that with that little post from the Wikipedia about Mr. Brown. So I guess that might be one of the researchers. The announcement does not mean there is a new planet in our solar system. The existence of this distant world is only theoretical at this point, and no direct observation of the object nicknamed Planet 9 has been made. The mathematical prediction of the planet could explain the unique orbits of some of the smaller objects in the Kepler belt. Yeah, I think they had like slight wobbles. Probably because it's passing and the gravitational pull was pulling on those other objects. Ice debris far beyond the orbit of Neptune in January 2015. That must have been when it was then. Celtic astronomers Stanton, blah blah, and Mike Brown, there we go, announced new research that provides evidence of giant planets. The possibility of a new planet. Was it a dwarf planet? Neptune. Neptune is definitely a planet size, isn't it? Didn't say Pluto. Certainly an exciting one for me. Celtic scientists, Planet X has. What's this? May have had a mass about 10 times that of Earth and be similar in size to Uranus and Neptune. Leave the Uranus alone. The predicted orbit is about 20 times further from our Sun on average than Neptune. It would take this new planet between 10,000 and 20,000 years to make just one full orbit around the Sun. So maybe the Mayans saw that, maybe, huh? I don't know. How would you see it without telescope? Maybe something crashed into it and caused a flare in the sky. Who knows? There may have been some early rocks 10,000 years ago. That might be where they brought in that claim of, what was it, 2001 Mayan prophecy, you know, new was it a new generation, a new life. Yeah, was it Mayans or Aztecs? I always get confused between them. How long did Mayans reign? Well, what we know about, I guess. Let's see. 12,000 before Christ. But were they around 10,000 years ago? Yeah, that's the question. Good. Mayans, how do you spell it? Aztecs. Who are the other group? Incas. Because there are claims that they have found bones of humans with dinosaurs, remember? That could easily be like 10,000 years ago, maybe the last dinosaur. But like the Maoris were hunting the moa, right, to extinction. And there could be one or two out there still breathing that managed to get away. But what the Maoris did in Christchurch anyway, it used to be all big forest here and big riverbeds. They set it all on fire and flushed them out, basically. and had all the weapons and arrows lined up ready to take them down. And of course they chased them into the swamp, so they got stuck in the swamp, because Christchurch was mostly swamp land as well. Have existed 10,000 years ago. I suppose this drops into that guy that does this sort of stuff. What's his name? That does the series on all this sort of stuff. Can't think of his name. The English guy. You probably know who I mean. Possibly that only 10,000 to 20 years ago did we have. Okay, let's have a look. Looks like someone's asked the same question. What's this? Has anyone answered it here that's a scientist? Here we go. But doesn't look like he's much of a scientist. He's graduated in mathematics. Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. The agricultural revolution took place around 10,000 BC. Old Kingdom Egypt appeared 7.5. So yes, possible, isn't it? Well, Eridu was formed. What's that? Founded around 5000 BC. There are significant gaps still, but they reduce the time frame rather than considerably from our original 300,000 years. It's probably because they haven't found any evidence going back 300,000 years though, have they? Anyway, it's quite interesting. So that would have to be a lot of manpower to make that, right? From sandstone, is it? Let's see, I think Aztec is mostly sandstone, which is quite easy to cut. You know, everybody says, oh, you can't cut those blocks because it's the hardest stone. Well, you can cut any stone, basically, with friction. And they could do it with copper. You just have to keep replacing the copper wire that they're using for cutting, right? Is Aztec buildings sandstone? I think there might be limestone even. That's slightly harder, but still easy to make blocks from. There we go. Most Aztec West is built out of sandstone. I think it's red because it looked like it was red, which is quarried several miles away. Mauls and hammers used for quarrying have been found both at the Great House itself. There you go. Now the sandstone originally formed from layers of beach sand during the Mesozoic age era. Okay. So it's all sandstone. I think there's limestone. Maybe try the other ones. Incas. That's probably mistyped it. Sandstone is a sedentary rock formed from oceans, lakes, and rivers. Yeah, not seeing it. I think the pyramids, the Great Pyramid, is limestone. Limestone. Here we go. Around 5.5 million tons of limestone, 8,000 tons of granite, and 500,000 tons of mortar. What's the mortar made from though? Was used to build the Great Pyramids. That's probably why the outside of it finally broke away. Or did they steal the bricks to build other buildings after? That's a good question. That happened in UK. Remember when they burnt down all the churches and all the villagers decided to pillage and use it in their own farms and stuff, and that's why the ruins are all around UK like that. It's because it wasn't sort of blown away from erosion and weather after being set on fire and the roofs got burnt down. It was more to do with pillaging. Cubids. We got a few people on the side chat here. So let me just check here. So much negativity in humans. Yeah, there is. Now that's why I try and do positive shows now. Aliens must be civil. I think so. It's probably better than humans. Crazy stuff happening. It takes Pluto about 248 years to orbit the Sun, so it does throw up the question of how long would it take further away planet to take. Yeah, 10,000 years. or greater, right? Our timeline doesn't make sense with the pyramids and so many other things. Yeah, I got a feeling there was another race of humans that got wiped out by war, or maybe even some sort of mystery virus. I think the Egyptians inherited it, but they keep the figureheads keep saying it was them that built it. I have my doubts. In fact, I've gone over the Great Pyramids. Weren't like a normal tomb chamber, and yet the structure of it would fit nicely with a hydrogen oxygen gas splitting machine, because they got a water flow that runs underneath, and we know that two types of metal can actually cause the water molecule to split apart with the flow of the water, and it could build up the gas over years, and eventually they could tap it off. Well, I don't know how long it would take. I haven't done the mathematics on that. But theoretically it could be possible, right? So yeah, is limestone harder than sandstone? What is harder? I think limestone, as you know, can dissolve quite easily with water, right? So if the Great Pyramids are cut, they could be cut using high pressure water, couldn't they? Like a water jet. But it could easily be that you tip water onto the groove while you're rubbing copper back and forth, right? Anyway, I have talked about it in the past. They believe that they moved the great blocks from the quarry by building an artificial canal that run right up to the base of the pyramid, which would make sense why there's erosion on the Sphinx, because that would have been built maybe first, I think, and there was talk about water erosion around the base. So it might be that the Nile was diverted that way for a canal to build it, and also the pyramid. And as you know, limestone tends to be breaking down with water, because we got sinkholes in America. What is harder? Looks like someone's asked that same question. Sandstone is generally softer, that's what I said, wasn't it? And then limestone and other types. See, my brain works pretty good sometimes. And other types of rock, so it may be more prone to scratching or denting. For interior use, you might want to avoid this to maintain your flooring, so that's probably why they put down some granite blocks for support beams, right? You should probably avoid highly polished sandstone. Very slippery. More resistant to what? Limestone, durability, resistant to weapons, so generally requires less maintenance. So it still erodes, right? But it's more resistant. So what's limestone made up of? It's amazing how I keep flipping topics here though. Limestone made of sedimentary rock made of calcium carbonate. Well, that we know that's used for stomach upsets, and it causes that fizziness, isn't it? CaCO3, usually in the form of calcite or aragonite. That sounds like something Superman got. It may contain considerably amounts of magnesium carbonate. They have a minor constituents of clay, iron, and blah blah. Quartz are also commonly present. Yeah, I think I've seen quartz in it. Calcium carbonate, that's what you use in upset stomach, isn't it? Am I wrong? Let's just do a search on that one. Is an inorganic salt primarily used, well, salt's got to be dissolvable, isn't it? Used to manage and treat low calcium conditions. Calcium is classified as a calcium supplement, antacid, and phosphate binder. So stomach. I used to take a bit of that because I suffered from my liver problem, remember? Calcium carbonate treats heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and other caused by too much stomach acid. It works by reducing the amount of acid in the stomach. It belongs to a group of medicines called antacids. It may also be increase calcium levels in your body. There you go. So if you've got low calcium, drink some of that stuff. And of course there will be side effects, I guess. Actually, let's just have a look at the side effects. Come on, come on. Is it going? What are the side effects? I didn't see any. Sounds like it might be a safe thing. Can you have too much calcium? I don't know. Right, it's a separate tab. Constipation, so yeah. I suppose it could suck all the water out your body, right? Gas and burping. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be constipated. That's going to cause problems with your intestines as well. So it's a balance in life. Too much is bad for you, too little is not good for you. Just the right amount. The 3 beers and the porridges. A very serious allergic reaction to this drug is rare. Okay. It doesn't say much about reactions there. Just having trouble going to the toilet. I suppose the way around that would be to drink more water though, so it wouldn't really matter. Anyway, getting back to where we were talking about. What was it we were talking about? Right, so we're talking about Planet X, wasn't it? How did we get onto the pyramids? I can't remember now. Anyway, oh right, we're talking about 10,000 years, the Mayans, and then it went on to the pyramids.
There was a good show that was on UK, a documentary called Connections. Bert, what was his name? Bert, someone. I loved the series because he would connect one science piece of device, right? And then he'd break it all apart and say, well, the screws were invented 10,000 years ago by this person, and the metal refinery was invented millions of years ago, blah, 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 whatever. He'd piece it all together. It was a great series. I wonder if it's still available. I thought it was the best documentary series ever. And then BBC went into the dark side and started doing fake news. And so did the History Channel, wasn't it? Putting up fake mermaid documentaries and Bigfoot documentaries. Connections, BBC Connections. Great series if you want to grab it. I think I might have it on a hard drive here. When was it? Going back a few years now. There he is, the guy with the glasses. James Burke. There you go. Burke. I suppose that's how you say his name. Burke. I don't know. Probably got his name wrong. Anyway, science education. Oh no! Well, we got short attention spans in ufology. I don't think so. We'll be able to last through one episode of that maybe, but who knows. The series was produced by Mick Jackson, not Michael Jackson. Mining the day the universe changed. The popular success of the series led to production 1985. So when was this? 78. God, it's old, but it was really good. Details the trigger effect. Burke details the world's present dependence on complex technological networks through a detailed narrative of New York City and the power blackout of 1965. Death in the morning. So they're talking about all the things they looked at in that episode, how he connected one to the other. Yeah, go and check it out. I'll post it up there. Probably Q would know what I mean. He's probably watched a few of those. Connections, science. There's a lot of good old programs that they should repeat again, I think, or maybe remake them if they want to, or remake new episodes at least. Does something not go there? Banned by Rumble. No, it looks like it might have done something. That one's clickable for some reason. These ones are not. I suppose it's still working. Have I missed something? No. Egyptians say in their hieroglyphs that they found the pyramids and not built them. I don't know if I've heard that. What UFO channel was that on? Is that documented in the Wikipedia? Yeah, anyway. But it makes sense to me that they certainly inherited them. But as you know, we got the cancel culture deleting stuff like that. Because they get upset. They can't have the Egyptians upset that they didn't do anything. Okay. I suppose we could be finished with this one. Planet X now, can't we? So it does actually exist.
well, theoretically, they haven't proven it yet. They suspect a little wobble in some rocks, that there had to be something out there, but not passing in front of our sun for people like security to talk about. What next? Astronomers, including Bay, Jin, and Brown, will begin using the world's most powerful telescope to search for the object. Optical telescope, are they talking about? So that would have to be like James Webb, wouldn't it now? But they're probably talking about the Hubble here, is it? Any object that is far away from the sun will be faint and hard to detect. Yeah, and of course, we know how vast space is, right? We were talking about exoplanets last live that we did. And it was something ridiculous amount just in our galaxy alone, let alone the universe. We love to find it, but I also be perfectly happy if someone else found it. Well, that's fair enough. Anytime we have an interesting idea like this, we always apply Carl Sagan's rules of critical thinking. Yeah, but wasn't he a wee bit too critical? Which include independent confirmation of facts, looking for alternative explanations, and encouraging scientific debates. There you go. I'll post a link to that. I've probably got a lot more haters now, all the Planet X lovers. I got the flat earthers against me because I debunked that nonsense once. And I got the people that don't believe International Space Station is orbiting us. What was that guy's name? Dubay. Terrible guy. He was also... he got deleted because he was being anti-Jew. Anti-Semitic, or whatever they call it. So, yeah. Planet X. This is from NASA. Exists. We're just saying exists because it's a good chance that it does exist, but not how the YouTubers out there claiming coronal mass ejection, what they call it, voids, proof of planets or solar flares. So going back a few years, I did a search on UFO interest here. Here's why security is still a hoaxer. He tried to relate two different videos claiming there are some UFOs near the sun. The first clip is a coronal cavity, so you can see it's exactly like the guy was presented on Planet X. Claiming it was Planet X. So here he's converted it into a big, massive, circular UFO. This first clip is a coronal cavity I exposed here. The second one is an old hoax debunked by Nick West. So that was the square, was it? Let's just play it. Let's have a quick
on
look.
October 11th, 2021 from the SDO 171 satellite. And why this footage is so amazing is because
is this the second or first one? I wonder.
You can almost see the object lurking towards the sun, casting a shadow.
Ah, there we go. We saw the injection.
Against the plasma field coming off of the sun and then removing itself and flying back off into space. Now, with the background image...
Now, I personally like the idea that... if you got advanced science, that you could fly right into the center of the sun, if you could control, like produce a huge magnetic field, right, and withstand the pressures, you could fly straight into the sun and actually see what it looks like inside. Whether it could be used like a wormhole, it's hard to say, right? But these ain't proof of UFOs flying into it. So far we're seeing rocks fly into it, and almost come out the other side. We're seeing these ejections, and we're seeing artifacts and missing squares where data has been lost in transmission, and sometimes they can use CRC to rebuild it and replace the missing data. According to NASA, the strange appearance is actually a type of solar activity called a prominence, a type of solar activity which is normally attached to the sun. So he's talking about this here. Which is normally attached to the sun before shooting out into space, like the image of the infamous UFO. Well, actually, I think let's see. I'm not sure if it's correct there. It might be just coronal ejection here, and the magnetic field's now creating this void with all the other plasma that's around it, right? And it just shows up as a dark spot. Got to remember, it's a false image. It's using either a certain range of infrared or ultraviolet to produce the image. We don't actually see it naturally with our eyes or telescopes.
Of the infamous 2012 capture, where it showed a similar spherical, massive, I mean it would have to be giant, object funneling energy with this sort of tornado.
Okay, let's move on a bit. So what's the second
up
one?
To the sun before then moving back off.
So you can see it has certain defineness depending on what filter they use. So they use a different color for each of the different filters here, false color that is. And you can see some are more defined than others depending on the infrared range they're using. See, that one there only looks like not even half, right? It's not a complete circle.
I don't know if it was by happenstance, the universe.
Oh, that music, man.
I saw this video clip that a woman recorded a couple of years.
Now, is that crazy woman with the clip-on lens? Can't remember what her name was. Mary, was it?
Back, when a lot of people were...
There you go, aiming a camera at the sun with a clip-on lens and saying it's the Nibiru.
Seemingly seeing what appeared to be a massive object up in the sky next to our sun. And so this video randomly popped
so that's a lens flare, right?
Up today before I posted this video, and you can listen in here.
But I think she might be using a clip-on lens.
Since we all have been taught in school
So we saw a few lens flares happening.
that mercury...
So we've got one lens flare here, and we've got another one up here, right? It's a clip-on lens one, I think.
and Venus do not show up. Oh, just look at that planet.
You can see it. It's inside the camera, the artifact by the movement here as it moves.
It's beaming and shining right now. Somebody tell me what it is. Thank you.
You know what it is, you lying shill.
You.
And so as we read through the comments, a lot of people
amazing capture.
Believe that yes, this was an object. You can actually see lens flares moving around the camera, but this object appears to be stationary in its position.
Both of those objects were moving from what I saw, unless there was something else I was meant to be seeing.
No matter how she moves her phone camera. One commenter posted that, you know, it's a good capture if they have to make an article calling it a hoax, going on to say that it was a very
naysayer.
Good capture and clear evidence that there is definitely an object of some sort there and not a hoax.
Talking about this here, right? You can see it's definitely moving.
Hence, could this have been a few years back one of these giant
and then we get a lens flare of that.
Objects captured.
So lens flare from that to that, and then a lens flare from that to that. So it's a double lens coming
near our sun, siphoning energy as it moved away. Could this be one of the objects we just saw from NASA's very own?
He didn't do a Mr. Ken on it. Disappointing. Okay, what have we got here?
Some hoaxers are sharing a video claiming there are a massive spherical object near the sun until it shoots out into space. Images NASA. Okay, what do we got here? Earth scale. There we go, a little dot. Okay. So, what is it, 100 times bigger than the Earth? Right. That's a mothership. Have we got anything else under it? We got more. The Three Stooges. What's this? Kings of Laughter. Comedy highlights. Third phase. Goof on
Shogun donated £2 through Super Chat. Hello, Paul and folks. Sorry late.
We got Shogun. I better catch up on the side comments then. Let's see. Oh, such language there. Flat earthers. Yeah, indeed, I agree. Does it let me switch between comments? No, you got to untick it first. Okay, Shogun, hello. No notification. I did send it on Discord though. And I did post it around Twitter and whatnot. Keep it. Hello Paul and folks, sorry for late. I'll catch up later. Okay. Good stuff. Looks like all the chat's working. Haven't missed anybody, have I? It's very quiet on all the other platforms. Pilled is probably no one watching. I don't know. I'll check after the show. I only got one like in the last live. I thought the last live was pretty good apart from the echo, which was annoying, I must admit. But we solved it. We solved it in the end. But anyway. I was just going to go through the other comments, see if there's anything else there. No. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Let's see what the next great video from the security team is, or disinformation, should we say. Okay, alien abduction claims. Yeah, let's go through that. How are we going for time anyway? Time flies when you're having fun, eh? I better open that up. We actually got 4 people watching now. Amazing. Is that 2 or 3 hours? 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours that coming up to. Okay, let's see what this was about again. Alien abduction claims examined. Okay, has he had his own experiences? Richard McNally doesn't believe people have been abducted. He's a skeptic. Yeah, I think he might be wrong, mate. But he believes he knows why they believe it. Do you? How can you know if you've not had your own sort of experience? Mac H says he was abducted by aliens. So it's not this guy. He clearly remembers awakening one night, unable to move anything but his eyes. He saw flashing lights, heard buzzing sounds. Well, I heard buzzing sounds before I went to sleep in one ear only when mine happened, and it drove me crazy. Lucky enough it wasn't constant. It eventually went away again, but it wasn't like my normal tin ear that I have. It was a higher frequency and louder. Experienced feelings of levitation. Well, I can't say I have, but I had things jump on me.
Felt electric tingling sensations. That sounds like pins and needles. But yeah, I haven't had any of that really, apart from sitting here too long. Terrifying were the non-human figures he saw by his bed. Mark believes they were aliens. Later, he underwent hypnosis. Oh no, the dangerous hypnosis where you can implant memories to try and recall exactly what had happened to him. And you notice I can recall my memories without any hypnosis, right? But yeah, when I first woke up and sat on the edge of the bed, I thought, what happened last night? Pain-free, of course. Mark remembered being whisked through an open window to a large spaceship. We've heard that account a few times. Or go through the ceiling, right, of the house. He was very frightened when aliens took him into some kind of medical examining room. There he had sex with one of them. Oh damn, I didn't get any sex. Nor did whites, you gotta correct that mistake. I want my sex. I ain't had my sex, I ain't fair. Afterward, the aliens brought him back to Earth and returned him to his bed. Well, that's very kind of them. Matt describes the experience as terrifying, but did it really happen? Some researchers at Harvard University devised an experiment. Oh, right, they brought some aliens today. Determined if memories of an abduction by space aliens would provoke the same physiological reactions that occur when other people, such as combat vets and those who survive deadly car accidents, recall their dramatic experiences. Richard McNally, maybe it should be McWally, professor of psychology, and his colleagues recruited 6 women. What, for sex? Ah. How did we get into those studies? And 4 men. Oh, that sounds like one guy's getting couple. Who claimed they had been spirited away by ETs, some of them more than once. Under hypnosis, 7 of the 10 reported having had their sperm or eggs extracted for breeding purposes, or experiencing direct sexual contact with space aliens. Damn, I really have missed out. Each of these people were interviewed by either McNally or Susan Glancy, also a professor of psychology. Each also wrote a script that told the story of his or her abduction. The research team then made audio tapes spoken in a neutral voice. Now, what's that even mean? My name is Ken. From the scripts, abductees listened to these tapes in the laboratory of Scott or at the Veterans Affairs Medical Centre at Manchester. As the tapes played, the researchers recorded their emotional responses using such measures as heart rate and sweat on the palms of their hands. The same procedure was done. So Travis Walton, he got done too. He didn't get any sex. He didn't even get an anal probe, did he? That's why I think his story is a load of bunk. But yeah, we won't go into that. Yeah, his aliens were really vicious and violent and lifted him up with a beam. I just call nonsense to that part of the story, which I always was suspect that he was lying about it. When I saw that movie, though, that movie, Fire in the Sky, that really sucked. I think it did more damage than good to ufology.
The same procedure was done with 8 people haunted by dramatic experiences unrelated to abduction by aliens. When the 2 sets of measurements were compared, the results were striking. Abductees showed surprisingly strong psychological reactions to tapes of their alien encounters. Their reactions were as great or greater than those individuals who cannot shake memories of combat, sexual abuse, and other punishing events. Well, how's that disprove it, though? That just proves it more that something really happened, right? Am I missing something? McNally announced these findings on February 16 at a meeting of American Association for Advancement of Science in Denver. The results underscore the power of emotional belief. Or something dramatic happened to them and they really experienced it. So I think, it's a bit like scientists, right? Sometimes there can be two conclusions to the same analysis, right? Which one's correct? They made assumptions here, clearly. People who seriously believe they have been abducted by aliens show patterns of emotional and psychological response to these. Well, it's pretty damn scary when it's happening. No wonder. Dreaming with their eyes wide open. Right, so now we're all walking around dreaming in broad daylight, seeing tall lights. Neither McNally nor the other Harvard researchers ever considered the possibility that people in the study or anybody else was either abducted by space aliens, but if not, what produced their last and vivid memories? Well, the fact is we don't even know if they're from space. Are they from inner space? Are they from multiverse? The researchers tie such abduction stories to a phenomenon they call dreaming with your eyes wide open. That sounds like a Tom Cruise movie, isn't it? The episodes occur just as people awaken from a dream. Dreams include full body paralysis. Well, that doesn't count for my experience then, because I was fully awake for half an hour before it happened and I was drinking a cup of tea. And some of the sightings I had a fully good sleep beforehand too. I wasn't tired like I am at the moment, where I only got like 4 hours sleep. So I'm running on a high. I haven't eaten anything either. A nice adaptation that prevents people from jumping out of bed to escape their demons, otherwise making moves in a dream that could injure them. The sleeper awakens from a dream before... what a load of crap. Paralysis goes away or experience hallucinations like seeing, flashing lights, and some kinds of living things lurking around the bed. Well, my camera says otherwise. Not only did I see flashes of light, the camera caught it. Sleep paralysis, oh no, is a common and no more indicative of mental illness than a hiccup, the researchers point out. But when the hallucination and paralysis occur together, many people find combination frightening and they attempt to find a meaning in it. Some individuals consult psychiatrists and psychologists who hypnotize them to recover presumably repressed memories. Now, I don't want to read all this out, it's getting a bit lengthy, isn't it? Psychology interviews and tests conducted on abductees reveal little evidence of mental illness. There you go. But they enjoy a rich fantasy life. Can't say my life is rich with fantasy. And where's my tool Nordics for sex? now we can talk about fantasy.
When they listen to music or watch movies, they often imagine they are somewhere else. I don't think I do much of that unless I'm dreaming, asleep. Typical abductee Knights McNally has a long-standing interest in New Age practices. Well, that's not me, and believes such a reincarnation, astral projection, or mental stability. I don't believe any of that. I've yet to be proven that. But I have had out of body before the internet days. So does that mean I'm predisposed? Alternative healing practices, energy therapies, and astrology. Well, I don't believe any of that. But I think energy, though, energy can be beneficial as well as evil as well. So, yeah, our body are running on energy or electrical signals after all. He and his colleagues conclude a combination of pre-existing New Age beliefs, episodes of sleep. That sounds almost like Nick West, that does. Accompanied by hallucinations and hypnotic memory recovery, may foster beliefs and memories that one has been abducted by space aliens, ghosts, hags, and incubi. Not had any of those. I've not had a hag on top of my chest, and I don't want to. I don't want a tall Nordic blonde though. Anyway, these guys are probably laughing at me, no doubt. How many people got on? 5 now. Okay, Shogun. I'll catch up later. Sounds good. Okay. What's Cupid saying here? Alright, I think I read that. Thanks for the donation, if I didn't say so. Hallucinations. Such combinations give rise to a variety of interpretations across cultures and throughout history. McNally points out, not everyone who has been scared by this experience imagines they have been abducted by aliens. An hallucination upon awakening from a dream might be interpreted as a visit from a ghost or Satan. I mean. In Newfoundland, people have encounters with the old hag, a witch who gets on your bed with you. Well, she can keep away from my bed. Satan, though, was that image that we got that we enhanced the video, did look like an alien grey that turned into a goat. Is that one of Satan's puppets? I don't know. Well, if it was, I scared it off. Anyway, hundreds of years ago in Europe, people feared the incubus, an evil spirit that lies on people while they sleep. Well, I've certainly been touched by something physical and woken up moving, not paralysed, ready to take it on. Just by putting on a light scares them off, though. Something about lights, I think, scares them off. I think it goes quiet as soon as I manage to get a light on. Even the glow from the smartphone is enough light to scare it off. But yeah, it's a bit hard to sit in the dark knowing that you've been touched, or something's still sitting on you, and not put a light on, because you might, most people say, "Oh, it's just a putty cat." No. We don't own any cats, and the windows and door are all closed. Abductees reacted emotionally like people who have real memories. Bruises.
abuse, combat. Oh, they're talking about abuse. Oh, they're talking about physical memory, real memories of combat, abuse, and near-death encounters, but most of them are glad to have contact. How about physical evidence? You know, like bruises, lumps, like I had, and holes, 3 holes. Yeah, it's kind of bias, I think, on that. But anyway. But there is some truth in it. Some people obviously do have mental episodes, do have sleep paralysis, but you can't say all those thousands of people researched by ERT in America related to any of that. Because some of them are actually CIA, FBI, NSA, and if they're having mental episodes, their lie detector would certainly be able to pick it up, because they have regular lie detector tests, don't they? But they might detect on the lie detector test there's anything you're not telling us, and they might not be telling about the alien abduction because they know they'll lose their job, and it comes up as a register on the lie detector that they're hiding something. So that could be a problem. Q-Verbs is having a talk here. You're welcome. Wish I had more, but hope you carry on anyway. Okay. Good night, Paul. We've lost him. Smell you later. Okay. We've got a few more stuff to go through yet. I'm going to talk about drugs now. Drugs and sleep paralysis and all that. Let's see. Maybe start with the first one. Okay, maybe that's the first one. We've got Brian Dunnan. We've got Faraday cages, and we got whether I can do it today or not. My eyesight is getting worse reading all that stuff. Coming up to 3 hours, yeah. I hate to say I'm going to push stuff again, but anyway, let's see how we go. 10 scariest prescribed drugs side effects. Adverse drug reactions are unwanted side effects that have considerable clinical and economic costs, as they can lead to increased emergency department visits and prolonged hospital stays. Each year, an estimated 4.5 million Americans visit a physician's office or emergency room because of side effects related to the prescriptions on medicines. Surprise, surprise. Although it may be hard to pinpoint a reaction to one specific medicine, the FDA requires drug manufacturers to list all side effects they have been reported in clinical studies in their product labeling. The following is a list of 10 harmful and potential deadly side effects of commonly prescribed medicines. Side effects. Hallucinations occur when sensing something that is not really present. Types of hallucinations include visual, auditory, olfactory, tactile, gustatorial, and general somatic. Hallucinations are common symptoms of schizophrenia. Oh no! But they can also be caused by extensive alcohol intake. That's a new one to me. Drug abuse, depression, and sleep deprivation.
So yeah, if you're not sleeping well, you could have hallucinations, but how could that happen when you're fully awake for half an hour? Yeah, I just find it a bit hard. Dementia or certain prescribed medicines. A number of psychoractic medicines such as, oh, here we go, olanzapine, cypressa, quetiapine, I'm not going to be able to say all these names, and haloperidol have all been associated with causing hallucinations. In addition to, so this is why you'd have to get a list of all medicines that the person's on, when the last were taking it, and all that sort of stuff when you're doing alien induction research. So you'd have need a list like this where you go through and work out which ones are known in case studies to cause hallucinations. Look at the names they come up with though. Lunistica, loony, Clomipin, Activin, same seizure medicines, psychotropic medicines and seizure medicines. Okay. Finally, halosporins and sulfur drugs, which are two common classes of antibiotics of all things. Have been associated with causing hallucinations in rare cases. So we've got a lot of ammo there for the skeptics to deny alien inductions actually happened. But then again, if you've got physical evidence outside drug use, you know, like lumps and stuff, scratches and bumps, and video evidence, that would contradict that. Memory loss, yeah. Drugs can cause memory loss. We know that with a certain person called Ufon. He likes to take his weed every day. Although memory loss is a natural part of getting older, it may also be a side effect of certain medicines. The most notable medicine class that can result in memory loss is non-benzodiazepine, sedative, hypnotics, which include all these list of long names, which I'm not going to try and pronounce them. These medicines can sometimes cause amnesia and trigger potential dangerous behaviors such as cooking a meal, having sex, or driving a car with no recollection of the event upon awakening. So I guess one of those is a date rape drug, is it? Other medications that may result in memory loss include we've been through all that. Certain seizure medicines, opioids, and incontinence drugs. So anything with opioids. So that's one drug painkiller I was taking was made with opioids called tramadol. But again, I wasn't taking it at the time of any of my events, especially the tall whites that showed up. By then, my back pain had been gone from the first visit of the alien grey sticking a needle in my back, right? Prepapism, what's that? Is an unwanted, painful, persistent erection. Well, I can't say I suffered from that. It may not cause. That is not caused by sexual stimulation. It's left untreated. Tissue damage can occur, resulting in ability to get or maintain erection. Damn. Causes of parasitism. I don't know how you say it though. Certain medical conditions, trauma, alcohol use, and prescribed medicines. Medicines reported to cause trazodone. I'm not sure what that one. Cloxifine. Not sure any of those medicines. I understand warfarin, testosterone therapy, and serotonin. There you go. Blood clots. Now this is the same thing that happened with COVID vaccination, right? Blood clots form in the body under many normal circumstances in response to injury. However, some prescribed medicines have associated with blood clot formation. If left untreated, blood clots can break away from the original source and travel to other parts of the body where it can sometimes be fatal, like in your brain cells. For female oral contraceptives and hormone therapy drugs all carry increased risk for blood clot. Compulsive behaviors involve repeatedly performing an act without control, which interferes with the individual's life. Okay, we've got some long names here. Dopamine agnostics, indicated for Parkinson's disease and restless leg syndrome, can cause problems with impulse control. According to the drugs package inserts, case reports suggest that patients can experience intense urges of gamble, increased sexual urges, increased urges to spend money, binge or compulsive eating or other intense urges. Boy, what drugs are those again? God, that sounds terrible. Stephen Johnson syndrome. Never heard of that one. I've heard of Johnson & Johnson. Is rare, life-threatening hypersensitivity reaction of the skin and mucous membranes. That sounds terrible. During SIS, large macules rapid spread and form together, leading to blistering, necrosis and shedding of the skin. Ugh, sounds like lizard people. Okay, moving on. Birth defects. Thermoid. Yeah, my mum always took that when she was pregnant. That's why she didn't. Cancer. One of the most surprising instances of a medicine related to cancer came when tamoxifen, which is used to treat breast cancer, was found to increase the risk of uterine cancer. So fighting cancer produces cancer. In response, the FDA required the manufacturer to add black box warning to inform consumers. The labeling of type 2 diabetes medicines, oh no. Ploglitazone Actos, I think I might have been on there at some stage, includes a warning about increased risk of bladder cancer. Great. They never tell you that when they give you the pills, which stem from data from a observational study. Or glucagon like peptide receptor against agonists, have a black box warning. Great. I'm pretty sure I've had some of those too. Animals studies have also shown metronidazole to be carcinogen. Oop. What's happening to my mouse? Suicidality. The issue stems back to reports in 1990 that Paxil, how does Paxil, could lead to suicidality in patients. Today, all antidepressants have a black box warning. Great. Risk of suicidal thinking and behavior in children. Young adults with major depression disorder and other psychiatric disorders. Current clinical evidence on the topic is inconclusive. Some studies have shown that the use of antidepressants, which what would they be? What's the name of them? Must be further on here. Yeah, I don't know any of those ones. But bipolar, they just take more. What is it? Lithium, isn't it? Makes you wonder what that does to the brain. Exactly. Charges up. Death. Sudden cardiac death. Well, there was some of that happening with the COVID stuff, wasn't there? The largest cause of natural death in the United States, with an estimated 300,000 adult deaths annually. A number of antipsychotics such as Seroquel, Zyprexa, and risperidone have been associated with sudden cardiac death, with increased incidence seen in the elderly and those taken other cardiac medicines. Anti-arrhythmic agents that list sudden cardiac death within their package inserts include beta pace, cordaron. Lastly, the label for morphine and adrenal includes warnings about increased risk of sudden death due to cardiac blah blah blah. So that was the 10. What was that again? 10 scariest prescribed drug side effects. So, cure is worse than the cause, is it? Is that how you say it? Okay, on to the next one. Published med. So these are peer review, right? Opioid-induced hallucinations. A review of the literature. I need a drink, sorry. Pathological diagnosis and treatment. Despite the association with multiple adverse side effects, opioid prescribe continues to increase. Opioid-induced hallucination is uncommon yet significant adverse side effect of opioid treatment. A practitioner may encounter patient reluctance to volunteer the occurrence of this phenomenon because of fears of being judged mentally unsound.
The majority of the literature concerning opioid-induced hallucinations arises from treatment during the end-of-life care and cancer pain. Or security. Wonder if he hallucinated anything, because he was a big basher of it, wasn't he? Because the rate of opioid prescriptions continues to increase in the population, the rate of opioid association hallucinations may also conceivably increase. So how many of those on the books were taking opioids that had opiate inductions? Again, because it's all closed off research, it's not public, we can't simply go to a website and look at all the stats on this from ERT, because they want to publish the papers and sell it in books, I guess. Or maybe they'll give you a membership like Dr. Greer, $800 to go and log in. So what's it saying here? Cancer. CFT may be associated with adverse effects, extreme psychological overdose deaths in 2013. So too much is a bad thing again. The most common adverse side effects are gastrointestinal and central nervous system related. Up to 80% of patients treated with opioids experience a minimum of one adverse effect. Let's go through it quickly here. Common adverse events noted across multiple studies include exostomia, whatever that is. Xeroxtomia. I'm not sure how you say it. Constipation. Diaphoresis. Weight gain. Oh, maybe the security did actually put on some weight, didn't he? Somnolence. I'm not saying it right, am I? Sleep disorders. Well, maybe he's always talking about insomniacs. Well, he definitely had a sleep disorder. Memory deficits. Not too sure about that, but maybe. Decreased appetite, nausea, concentration defects, fatigue, sexual dysfunction, dizziness. God, it goes on and on, doesn't it? Dry skin, urinary retention. Yeah, I've noticed that when I was on tramadol, that you didn't want to go to toilet, and I know that your bladder had to be bursting, unless it slows down your kidneys, that it doesn't produce as much urine. But yeah, it was all kind of weird. I never really liked taking them, but they did get rid of the back pain at the time. Muscles, what else we got here? Immunology and dysfunction. God, it goes on and on. Tolerance and addiction. So that's opioids. So yeah, when someone talks about opiate inductions, you got to ask them all these hard questions. But they did say it was rare, but I suppose it depends how much you're taking, how much you're abusing, right? Health Watch. So this is on CBS News. Okay, next one. Boston, Dr. Malika Marshall is answering your medical questions. Mike on Facebook. Oh no, not Mike King. I used to smoke marijuana and I'm still having
hallucinations, especially at night, but I'm not dreaming. Is there a link between marijuana and hallucinations? According to the CDC, people who use cannabis are more likely to develop psychosis or a disconnect from reality that can involve hallucinations like seeing or hearing things. Well, I'll never touch pot in my life because I hate smoking for starters. That ain't really there. But goof on, this could explain a lot. Cannabis has also been linked to other mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide. These complications are more likely to occur in people who start using a drug at a younger age, use it more frequently, and use products with higher concentrations of cannabis. The symptoms usually improve after stopping the drug, but if you still experience symptoms, see your doctor to make sure you don't have a underlying mental health condition like schizophrenia. So there you go. People that were part of EIT said that weed doesn't cause hallucinations. Well, new research suggests otherwise, right? It's been peer reviewed and everything now since 2018, I think. Now it's more legal. Then they can now go to the doctors and report on it, right? So it's not. It's more open in America now. They can collect facts on it. Hey, Michael King, it wasn't you, was it? I was only joking though. Yo, you're very late to the party. I did message someone on Discord hours ago. Was that you or your son? Yeah, so it's a bit of a slow start on this show because I was having problems getting stuff going, and we had this audio problem which I solved. But anyway, the audio problem of playing the last live show, Rumble, was somehow referencing and starting the old show. What's this one here? This is some other stuff. You know, talking about those special drugs from the Amazon here. But yeah, if you put a search in on weed peer review hallucinations, if I typed it in correctly, you probably find lots of things. Peer review reports that do detail hallucinogen-like experiences in healthy adults come from research studies. In administration of purified THC, which you get in those e-cigarettes that Goof-On sucks on, right? Or case reports of individuals who experience adverse reaction following use of synthetic cannabis oils. There you go. So you can find lots of stuff on weed not really being a safe drug after all. But yeah, how many people that got claiming to be abducted could fall into this? Because weed's very common in America. So here's one here. However, research has shown cannabis use can cause hallucinations in patients with PD, whatever it is. PD. My eyes are getting a bit crap on me. Caps involving hallucination only last year 0.02%. Whatever that is. Cannabis associated psychology, I suppose that's a CAP. So that's almost 1%, are they saying there, of the population, of the users. So 1% is still 1%. So how many of those were regular users of weed that have been abducted? Could be mistaken identity, not real abductions. So I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but it's one factor you got to take into research account of fact finding and all that. Mold. It's pretty common to experience mold delusions, paranormal, or brief hallucinations while using cannabis. Delusions of grandeur. How many in ufology are weed smokers? 99%? Well, I don't know if it's that high, but there's certainly some crazy people out there. Remember that first comment I brought up? What I said was alien language. Can anyone tell me what this guy said? Well, I think he might have been on the cannabis. Cannabis-induced psychosis. 2022. In some individuals, the use of cannabis leads to psychotic disorders. The Somatic Review summarizes the current evidence. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Right? Don't tell me weed is safe. It's not. I suppose you can get edibles and oils where the THC is removed, and that changes things, of course. Okay, so what's this one saying? How do you say this word? Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca? Is that how you say it? Compound changes brainwaves to vivid walk-in dream states. So, again, this could be related to some people seeing aliens, I guess. If they're on this, I guess. Maybe those aliens in Peru, right? Scientists have peered inside the brain to show how taking DMT affects brain consciousness by significantly altering the brain's electrical activity. Again, I think similar could be said for Black Ops, you know, this PSYOP, right? Now, if they can alter the electrical signals in the brain, they can make you see things. That's why I haven't ruled out the possibility that something was going on to me to make me believe I was seeing things. So I can't really say that aliens are real, but I can't rule out the other side effect that maybe something was done to me to make it happen. Maybe then for me to lose my mind and get out of ufology and stop debunking the government's disinformation. Who knows? Like I said, like the shells, as we read out earlier in the show, are just like a one big criminal organization that want to weaponize stuff against debunkers, right? So who knows, you know? There may be some sort of microwave technology that could be from a van parked outside your house, or probably some airborne drone, a fairly big one it would have to be though, to be able to carry microwave beam technology. Could somehow affect you sitting in a chair. The latest study is the first to show how the prominent psychedelic changes our awakened brainwaves. The researchers comparing its powerful effects to dreaming while awake. The work led by researchers from Center for Psychedelic Research and Imperial College of London, and published today in the journal, so peer-reviewed, I suppose. Maybe since. Scientific reports may help to explain why people have taken DMT and that drug, I'm not going to try and pronounce it again, experience intense visual imagery and immersive walking dream-like experiences. So could they explain Angelique's thing? Was she on any of that? We don't know. And any other people out there that claim to have seen aliens walking in front of them. I certainly wasn't on it. In fact, isn't that drug, when you take it, makes you vomit straight after? It makes you really ill after. It takes a while to recover from it. Is that the one? Is it Joe Rogan that went on that? There were some people that went on it as an experiment and talked about what they were seeing. It was like a documentary, wasn't it? I think Joe Rogan was one of them. But anyway, DMT is naturally occurring chemical found in the minuscule amounts in the human brain, but also in larger amounts in a number of plant species around the world. So our body naturally has DMT, but how much is needed to trigger it then? How is DMT formed? We need to find out more about it, I suppose. Accounts from people who have taken DMT report intense visual hallucinations, often accompanied by strong emotional experiences and even breakthroughs into what users describe as an alternative reality or dimension. That does sound like UFO-like, doesn't it? Let's find out about DMT. DMT. How does the human body produce DMT? Are we still live? We haven't had YouTube or anyone jump us off, have they? I think it's still going. You know what censorship's like, and all these community rules they have. Someone will probably find something I'm talking about here as medical advice when it's not. I'm just reading out what Google finds and searches. So it's their fault for indexing it. Endogenous DMT is a psychedelic compound identified endogenously in mammals, is biosynthesized by aromatic L-amino acid, decarboxylize AADC, and indolophinum in methyl. Where'd they come up with these damn names? INMT. Oh god. What is the stimulation of the pineal gland? Stimulation of the pineal gland via the sympathetic pathway results in production of N blah blah blah. Melatonin has many therapeutic roles and is heavily implicated in the regulation of sleep-wake cycles. Yeah, how's that? What is DMT? Music. Hate to think. What does it feel like when pineal gland is activated? Clarity of thought. Increased awareness. What are the signs of a third eye opening? Oh god. We discovered that peace, love, and joy are not found outside us. We become aware of the field of energy. We realize we're not just our bodies, minds, and emotions. We can access planes of higher consciousness.
Okay. Pineal gland DMT. Pineal gland releases several important hormones, but there's no conclusive evidence that it releases DMT. Okay. Healthline. Body clock. It's just the pineal gland produced enough DMT to produce psychotic effects, but science has not confirmed this. So there we go. 2000. When was this article written? Pretty recently. There you go. So I've heard people, debunkers and skeptics, saying, well, people have seen aliens getting DMT or naturally occurring hallucinogens in their blood. Well, that there proves it hasn't been confirmed at all. And again, it's just mythology if it's not science, right? Peer-reviewed science. So, there you go. Interesting. Of course, I didn't know I was going to head that way, of course. I was just looking at common drugs. Let's see. Can your own body produce... Let's try it a different way. Hallucinogens. Which one should I try? That one. Could the brain produce its own psychedelic compound? Okay, it's talking about 2018 here. Let's go. It's talking about theory. Spirit molecules. The theory that the brain produces its own psychedelic compound provokes pop culture, euphemism, infusionism, and scientific conspiracy. Yeah, I need to drink again. It's amazing talking all the time dries you out. And my nose is blocked up again, which ain't helping. One whiff of the joint would turn you into something out of goddamn medical encyclopedia. Man, your head would swell up like a watermelon. That sounds terrible. You'll probably gain about 100 pounds in 2 hours. Claws, bleeding, warts, and then you notice that 6 huge hairy tits swelling up on your back. That sounds like a dog. Man, I tried just about anything, but I'll never in hell touch a pineal gland. The famous hormones, right? The book described the first new research on psychedelics in the United States since the 1960s. The groundbreaking work conducted at the University of New Mexico is the first half of the 1990s. Strassman administered intravenous doses of DMT to nearly 60 volunteers. I wonder who they were. More than half of whom described encounters with entities, beings that were ruthlessly clownish, elven, and angelic, demonic, alien, robotic, insectoid, and more. These reports triggered Strassman prerogative proposition that the pineal gland under stress could release enough DMT into the brain to cause extraordinary transpersonal experiences. Well, I don't think that was happening to me. After Strassman's subjects reported encounters with aliens and other non-human forms,
He conjectured that visionaries and prophets throughout history may have been in the throes of penal surge of natural occurring DMT. Visionaries like Nostradamus, is that what they're saying there? Could he have taken a solution that triggered his penal gland? I suppose it's possible. A potent, short-lasting compound that has been found throughout the plant kingdom, DMT can induce the sensation of leaving the body. I don't think that's what happened to me when I was a teen. What kind of plants would you have to eat to get DMT that high that you get out of body? Maybe it triggers out of body, because out of body is a real thing. Maybe the drug then somehow causes it to be released from the body, the so-called soul, producing profound changes in sensory perception, mood, and thought. When it's administered externally, for instance, when it's smoked or injected, those under the influence sometimes compare the episode to a near-death experience, complete with perceived sentient beings who transmit information, often in the form of visual language. DMT is an important ingredient in the increasingly popular Amazonian brew. There we go. Whatever that word is again. I'm not going to try it. Modern history starts with Hungarian psychiatrist Stephen, who began studying the psychophenomenal actions in Budapest in 1956, documenting the short-lived but powerful hallucinogenic effects. Before long, other researchers had shown that DMT, much like the neurotransmitter serotonin, was a naturally occurring tryptophan produced endogenously by the body itself. But while researchers were successful deciphering the process of serotonin and the function of the brain, the status of DMT remained notoriously complicated and unclear. So, basically what we read before, wasn't it? That it hasn't been proven that your body could produce enough to cause it to happen, but especially if you ate some maybe plants or medicine, it can cause it to happen. Some began to propose that this powerful psychedelic drug could be produced by the human body and indeed the brain in sufficient quantities to enable a natural psychedelic experience. The conjecture that we could produce enough of our own endogenous DMT to induce altered states of consciousness without ingesting any chemical compound generated euphuism, and these unproven claims departed the clinic to lead independent lives in popular culture at large. My eyes getting blurry. Sorry guys, gonna have to wrap up now I think. From the 1950s through to the 1990s, indigenous DMT was thought to cause psychopathologies. Did I read it right there? Oh god. I've only got one eye and that's gone blurry on me, the right eye. In the early years of research, psychiatrists held this so-called psychometric compound, a compound that naturally mimics
psychosis as a possible chemical key in the cure for schizophrenia. Research on this front, however, demonstrated little variation between levels of DMT in normal volunteers and those with psychotic illnesses. While clinical research involving healthy volunteers could have provided vital knowledge, the war on drugs in the United States made such research impossible. Well, you think they'd make an exception for doing research, wouldn't you? But this is how stupid America is. The research vacuum was subsidiary to the endobiologist and stand-up philosopher Terence McKenna, not least since DMT was found naturally in the human brain. This is a catch-22, yeah, it's hypocrites, I suppose, that they hold in research if they ever have to come after us. You are holding and you can't stop yourself. There you go. It goes on a bit still. It's quite a good article. I'll post, it still goes on a bit here, you see, 1986. Pivotal encounter with McKenna, talking about how they sort of got together to research it. Yeah, so really we'd have to know if there's any foods that people eat which would be high enough to cause it to happen. Yeah, still going on. Wow. Speculation on the psychedelic efficiency of Pinal has reawakened interest in the organ. People have championed the capacity of the Pinal to arouse previous dominant powers of perception, especially those associated with vision, clairvoyance, seeing auras, and being awakened. Yeah, so yeah, you can see how skeptics could use all this against abductees, right? That's what I'll bring it up to you, because a lot of people probably haven't read all this, and you can see it goes on a fair bit more here. But yeah, I'm going to have to leave it there, I think, because my eyes are getting more and more blurry by the minute. I should be able to do 4 or 5 hour shows, right? And it's only, what, 3.5. But I think I've covered quite a lot of interesting stuff here. And I'll post it your way. Let's see if Google allows us to do it. DMT, Pinal, alien visions. Don't know if I typed it in correctly, but anyway. I'll post it to all the chat windows. Do hit a like and share, it helps out the channel a lot. Thanks a lot for the donations there, Shogun. Every little bit helps cover the running costs. What do we have left? We did that one too. That's the scientific paper on it. Okay. Brian Dunning, he can be pushed to next live show. Hopefully you enjoyed what we did today anyway. It's something different, isn't it? Went from Planet X to drugs. So I'm going to say good night, everybody, and I probably need a little nap myself and rest the eyes. And do hit a like on stuff. Share stuff. And do post comments after the show. Anything we got wrong or missed, we can include it in next shows. Good night. Take care on the roads. Cool. There we go. Okay, just start to close down all this stuff. That's going to be fun. So yeah, I'll just close down that now, and that. I'll say goodbye there, and bring up the end credits. And I'll drop off each of the streams we got going to different places here. Is it coming up? Yeah. So we didn't do too much video analysis this time, but no doubt we'll do some more next weekend. Oh, we did Planet X at least, and Coronas, and what was the other one we looked at? Anyway, it doesn't matter. My mind's going now. I need some DMT. Yeah, let's close down Instagram. It's going to trash the episode as soon as it ends anyway. I didn't actually do a recording of it this time to upload it. Okay, that one's done. Where's the end button on Twitter? Twitter is now ending. Or X.